Summer is that time of year that we wait for all year long. However, it can be daunting as a homemaker. One of my goals this year was for my homemaking to feel effortless. And I've been decluttering and minimizing my belongings in order to make this happen. But I've also come up with strategies to make my life easier, and I'd like to share that with you in today's video. Homemaking looks different throughout the year, and this time of year especially is important for me to free up as much time as possible. Not only because my husband and I are running a business with our farm, but because I want to enjoy summer as much as everyone else and go to the beach and do fun things. And in order to do that, I have come up with a morning routine, which is what you'll see me doing in this video. And I pretty much do the exact same things every single morning to reset my house so that the rest of the day feels totally free. Today, I have a little extra work than usual because my son just had his 16th birthday party. And so I had a bunch of boys over here having a sleepover. And so it's a little bit messier than usual. But typically, I do a lot of dishes in the morning because my decision has been to let go of working all evening cleaning up the kitchen. I don't own a dishwasher, and so usually what we do after dinner is rinse and stack the dishes so that they're ready to go in the morning. Every household has their own set of systems and rules. And in my home, my kids are responsible for their bedrooms, they're responsible for doing their own laundry, and they take care of the downstairs bathroom, and they cook their own breakfast and lunch. Now, typically, I will cook maybe one big breakfast a week, but I really don't do that every day because it's exhausting, and I like to just focus on the dinner, and that's the main meal that I provide for the family. And aside from that, people are usually responsible for their own food and tidying up after themselves. And so this big cleanup in the morning and this big reset really helps just keep everyone on track with knowing what they need to clean. Things might change season to season, but the summer months are very busy, and we have a crew of workers working outside, which is mostly our own family. However, they start really early in the morning now, around 7 o'clock. And so there's just not time to prepare something for them for breakfast. And they're usually not that hungry so early. So they come in and make their own lunch when they're on their work break. And so I just need to make sure that they have ingredients to make themselves a lunch fairly quickly. I struggled desperately when my kids were younger. And of course, little kids are such a challenge and they're constantly making a mess behind you. And so it is easier to take care of a home when you have older children. And I definitely recognize that. I get comments from people that say that it's not so easy with little kids. And believe me, I know I had 5 of them. And I'm very grateful that that stage of my life is over. However, it's still work to pick up a home. And one of the things that has really helped me over time is learning to let go of perfection. Usually, it's things like little piles of clutter or things that you just can't get to that bother you. Of course, it's great to be in the habit of just picking up everything that you see. But when I do this sort of refresh in the morning, after this, I kind of let go. If my kids decide to leave a bit of a mess somewhere, I just don't stress about it anymore like I used to. We just got these brand new futon couches. I'm so excited for it. But I ordered some covers to go over the futon mattresses, and they haven't arrived yet. So I've got sheets over them right now just to protect them. And this is where the boys slept last night. So I've got to pick this up this morning. They went out together. So I just want to tidy things up and straighten things up. And I bought these blankets and pillows for guests. And one of the things that I am so excited about with the futons is that this will provide extra sleeping space for guests, which has always been a challenge because you don't always have guest rooms. And my daughter and her boyfriend usually come every single year, for sure at Christmas. They're actually coming in August, so we'll have space for them. I'll just run you through my morning routine. So usually what I do in the morning is I get up. Usually I get up very early between 4:30 and 5, and I come out and have a little bit of a leisure morning with coffee, and then I get to work. And I usually start with the bedroom and I make my bed in the morning, tidy up in there, and then I'll come out and I'll do the dishes. I'll wipe all of the surfaces and then I'll tidy up the living room, vacuum, sometimes mop, give the bathroom a quick refresh, and then I'll usually start any laundry that I have to do. And I usually take care of my own laundry as well as bath towels and kitchen towels. So I do sort of the communal laundry, but everyone else in the house does their own laundry. So I don't have to worry about anything except my own and the towels. And that really makes things easy for me. And then usually once I'm done that, if the floor needs mopping, I'll do it. But other than that, that's pretty much all I do in the morning. And then I go about my day. And I can have a very full day outside of my housework. I usually take care of my breakfast in the morning. Today I'm having some of my homemade Greek yogurt with some nuts and some maple syrup. And sometimes I'll do a breakfast for my husband if he is hungry and he's really busy. But lately, I've just been leaving everyone to their own device. I am not in the mood to chase after people for them to eat. I feel like if they are hungry, they can serve themselves. And of course, this is more of a summertime mentality because during the school year, I have a lot more structure happening where people need to get up at a certain time And I always try to make sure people eat before they go to school and, all of that usual routine. But during the summer months, it's very different because everyone kind of has their own schedule going on. And so like I said, just leave people to do their own thing when they get up. So it's kind of a refreshing thing to not have to do as much work for other people in the summer. So this morning routine is really what sets the tone for the entire day. It keeps things flowing naturally. And usually, this whole routine can take me only about maybe half an hour to an hour, depending on, the state of things in the morning. It's usually the worst in the morning. And then for the rest of the day, I will just go along and maybe pick up a thing or two, maybe do a few dishes here or there. But for the most part, I am free for the rest of my day and I can join in family activities or work with my husband, and we do deliveries twice a week that take the full day. And there's other work that I do throughout the week. So it really frees up my time to have this morning routine. Once I'm done the routine, I will try to figure out what's going to be for dinner. And I bought this pink salmon yesterday and I threw it in the freezer right away because you just don't want to mess around with seafood. And so I've got to unthaw it and I'm going to barbecue it tonight. And usually I go out and I harvest things for our dinner outside. So once I have the meat figured out, the rest I can prepare right at dinner time. And that makes things so easy. And I feel so grateful that I have access to all of this organic, fresh food. I'm trying to stay on top of my yogurt making right now because that's just such a nice breakfast that's quick in the morning. And then I've been making these nut mixes, these trail mixes, and this is just such a good thing to have on hand. It's so filling to just have a little bit of it, and it really carries you through the day when you're hungry and you just need a snack. And my boys really appreciate having this when they are working outside and they just need a little pick me up. So usually I will buy a container of mixed nuts and then I'll throw in some peanuts and then some dried fruit. And that just stretches this because the mixed nuts are the most expensive. But you really only need a few handfuls of this to be full and satiated for hours. And sometimes I will just snack on this throughout the day when I don't want to make myself something to eat and I don't want to take the time. And so having this on hand really can free up a lot of your time. Having quick things that you can just grab, whether it's something like this or fruit or berries, it's healthy and it's filling. Doing things like this just sets me up for success for the rest of the day. I've got dinner figured out. I've got some trail mix to snack on. I've got some fruit behind me on the shelf. And I've got access to a lot of healthy ingredients and healthy things. And this is the whole reason why I want my homemaking to feel effortless. so that I can actually enjoy summer, go hiking, and do things that make me feel good. And as homemakers, we need to make time for fun. We need to take time for our family, and we need to take time for ourselves. And this hiking trip was absolutely beautiful. This was on a different day. And I just wanted to share with you that, freeing up your time is just so valuable and so worth it. I feel so free now that a lot of my kids are now adults and my youngest just turned 16. I feel like a teenager again, like I have time for myself. It is absolutely amazing. And I want to get healthy again. I want to spend time in the outdoors and exercise and eat healthy. And so I'm on a completely new journey right now. And I'm so glad that you could spend the day with me. Thanks so much for joining me today. And I'll see you guys in next week's video.